I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakadash. Giving double honor to the apostle of this great millstone, peace and blessings to brothers to truth, to brothers pushing this truth and sincerity, and Kwam Yasharala. All right. This just you can see what's on the screen. I always love to bring this chapter out because it's the times that we are living in. I might name that video as this. We'll see when I get there. But things that's on my mind is, I had a dream last night. I'll probably do a video on that next. Just and that's prophecy in itself. The Lord said that the young men and the spirit of the Lord will fall upon. You know what I mean? It's plenty of scriptures that they just come into pass, and that's why I grabbed Matthew 24 because we're living in this time period. All right, Jake has to understand that we're living in these time periods that are biblical. We're living prophecy. All right, this ain't. You even got some prophecies in the Old Testament, but I was gonna say this ain't the Old Testament where we had our army, we had our own land. No, we're living prophecies. We are the Gentiles that learned about their heritage. What, 1 Corinthians 12 and 2? I'll grab it, matter of fact. Let's see where the Spirit take me. Oh, it's like it. That's 2 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 12. It's a 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. I'm going to read it back and say, ye know that ye were Gentiles. A Gentile is somebody who's not an Israelite, right? But it also can go into an Israelite who has a Gentile mind. You know what I mean? So you got Gentiles that are born Gentiles. You have Arabians. You have so-called white people. You have the Asian man, Japanese man. Those are Gentiles. What makes them a Gentile? They are not born in the nation of Israel. They're not from the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But in this verse, it says that ye know that ye were Gentiles, meaning that they were once Gentiles and they are no longer Gentiles because they're still of the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the bloodline, right? Because that's one of the more important things. But they had the mind state of one of these Gentiles. They might have been born an Israelite, but they had Greek customs. They were doing Greek customs. They were doing Arabian customs. Wherever Jake is at, we waking up to the truth. Meaning, at one point in time, you were doing some foreign. You were celebrating Christmas. You were celebrating the Day of the Dead in Mexico. You were celebrating whatever the fuck they're celebrating in Europe, right? Completely different culture. But when you woke up, it said, I'm gonna keep reading. It say, carried away unto these dumb idols. We were serving cheese and rice, as my brother Yabakana say. We were serving cheese and rice, which is just code word for Jesus. We was serving Allah, Buddha. Niggas was Islam. They was the mass function of today, brother. We was serving all these idols, which idols are that's why he said dumb. They don't speak. They just statues. And even today idols, they're not even statues. They're just religions or they're whatever you make an idol. All right? So we were once all like this. Very, very, very few brothers were raised in the truth. I'm talking about your parents had to be in the truth to raise you in the truth, or a brother you knew is less than 1%. Most of us, we was in the Christian church, we was in the Muslim temple, we was niggas in the world, and guess what? We were once Gentiles. It says, even as ye were led, so we was led to serve the Gentiles. I mean, not just like we was led to serve the idols. Like I said, me personally, I was born in the Baptist church. No lie, I never missed a day of church. From a baby, they took me to church. I had no option but to go. And then one day, the Spirit hit me. The Lord worked some things out. I stopped going to church. The truth came to me, and I accepted the truth. All right. So that's it's beautiful, bro. Because I was once a Gentile. All right. I'm gonna grab this one. get in the. I can't seem to quote it. And bear with me, it's coming. There you go. I knew it was Romans. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as the word of Yahweh have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. These niggas are not like us. No kindred. Alright, because like I was bringing out earlier with the 1 Corinthians 12 and 2, how we were once Gentiles, carried away into dumb idols, we were serving false gods, we were once Gentiles. Guess what? We woke up, but these niggas, they continue to serve these idols. Alright? And you think about it is the blood off our hands, as we've been teaching, the nigga that walked past, he stopped for a second and he kept going. Okay, cool. Alright? He's not of us. What makes you an Israelite is first and foremost, it's things that you need to do that make you an Israelite. All right, because Israel is a people before it's a place. We were called Israelites because our forefather Jacob had his name changed from Jacob to Israel, and then the name, the land that he lived in, it was renamed to Israel. All right, just because you live in Israel don't make you an Israelite. It goes back to the bloodline. Are you of Israel? Are you one of the sons of Israel? Which his name was changed from Jacob. I'm gonna keep saying that for the edification. Do you come from his lineage? That's what make you a Hebrew Israelite. Okay? Because guess what? All of these niggas, it say, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. A lot of these niggas walk around, they come from the lineage. We go back to the same great 97 great grandfather. Our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They go back to that lineage. But guess what? Was they keeping the customs of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Are they serving the same God as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? No. They chose to be Gentiles. When you go to First Maccabees, it talk about how they chose to be Gentiles. Oh man, I gotta grab it now. Okay. Yep, here we go. So I gotta get me one of these, boy. And it's a, I don't need second Maccabees. Oh man, it slips my mind right now. I'm talking about I believe it's in First Maccabees. Let's see if I can look it up. And again, bear with me. I'm just flowing through the spirit. I thought it was going to Matthew 24. Oh, here we go. It was. Well, it could be both, but it's a Second Maccabees chapter 4 verse 12. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat. So first and foremost, these niggas they basically they just succumb to it. You know, I think it was Antioch that did this, but one of these heathens, after just give you a little history, you had Alexander the Greek, which they call him Alexander the Great, but we hear us real Hebrew Israelites call him Alexander the Freak or the Greek. That's what he was, a freaky ass Greek. But once they kind of took over, which it was ultimately the spirit of the Lord at the time period. Once they took over, Alexander he died and he had his four generals, and Antioch he comes from one of the lineages. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Seleucid Empire, I believe. And basically, he basically came in. And Alexander the Great, he did deal with us. He let us keep our customs and things. But Antioch, he did not. He came in. He put a place to exercise in, which is what I'm right now looking at a Planet Fitness. These niggas, they put a gym in the nation of Israel. And back then, in this time period, they would work out naked. All right, take all your clothes off and you work out, butt ass naked, women, children, and kids in there. All right, and it say that and brought the chief young man under his subjection. When he brought the chief young man under his, this thing I'm getting into how he made us Gentiles, right? Because Jake, they was cool with the place of exercise, but guess what? The scriptures talk about how our nakedness is to be covered, but yet the heathen came with you're gonna work out naked, and Jake, they just jumped to it. That's why all of Israel are not of Israel, because our customs is our customs. Majority, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they ain't want to keep the customs. That's why they were so happy to jump on the bandwagon of Esau Edom and we're gonna work out naked in the room, get our muscles together. For real, that was their mindset. And I was making this point of and brought Second Maccabees 4:12 later on it say, well, I was reading from the top. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat. It say, and brought chief young men under his subjection. When you bring the young men under your subjection, you're basically taking over the next generation. Because yeah, older men, it's a saying that older men they stuck in their ways. Scripture say, train up a child that he may go. What is it? I gotta get it now. Just on a quick note, what is it? Proverbs. I'm to my first Proverbs, but it's Proverbs. Damn, where's that? Proverbs. What's it? 22 and 16. I'll do it like this since I'm in a blue letter. I know it's Proverbs. Child. Oh, it's Proverbs 22 and 6. It say, train up a child in the way train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So, older men, they are stuck in their ways, especially in righteousness, because they were trained up in righteousness. That's why, when you come back here, it say, and brought chief young men, chief, even when we look at the word chief, right, it say, a leader ahead. So he brought the leaders of the next generation, right? He put them up under his wing, which I'm talking about Antioch, right? And that's how we got turned into Gentiles. Because if your leader on some wicked shit, and that's all you know, guess what you're gonna be on? Some wicked shit. The scriptures talk about so is the princes, so is the people. I'm roughly paraphrasing. I'm really butchering it a little bit. I'll try to find. I'll look it up. Matter of fact, let's do it. This is my last one. I'll close this. It say Psalms 113 and 8. They say that he may sit with princes, even with the prince. No, that's not what I wanted. Damn, I think it's Second Ezra, as a matter of fact. But let's see if I can get. Cause I really want to close with this. No, maybe it's not that. But I ain't gonna drag it on too long. It just was going into how, as the princes are, so are the people. All right, because the way someone rule their land, that's how the land go. Everybody gonna be on that. Guess what? If you got a covetous king, the spirit of covetousness gonna go forth. And when we go back to Second Maccabees, Again, this I was going into how we became Gentiles, right? It talk about this like we were ruled by Edomites. So guess what? The spirit of an Edomite came out. It made me think. It made me think of John 8:44. Ye are of your fathers the devil. 2/3 of our nation of our people, which is the main majority of them, 66.6%, which is a spiritual number in itself. Today, they just went along with it and they were cool with it. All right, but I'm getting ready to go to camp, so hope this was edifying. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash, giving double honor to the apostle of the great millstone, peace and blessings, the best pushing the true sincerity, and Kwame Sharala.